In 1933, a Protestant woman sat nervously in Edgar Cayce's Virginia Beach study, asking questions about her past lives during a documented psychic reading. After learning about her connections to family members through previous incarnations, she hesitated, then asked something that would shock everyone in the room. "What about my little dog, Mona? Was I associated with her in past lives too?" Cayce's unconscious response was immediate and startling. Yes, in the Roman experience. But when the woman pressed further, asking was she a dog then, Cayce's answer would challenge everything people believed about animals and souls. "A lion," he declared emphatically. This tiny family pet had been a fierce lioness in ancient Rome, connected to this same family across centuries. If you've ever wondered whether your beloved pet has a soul that transcends death, hit that subscribe button right now, because Edgar Cayce's documented readings reveal shocking truths about animal consciousness that will transform how you see your furry family members forever. This wasn't just one isolated case. Over the next 8 months, multiple family members received readings about Mona, creating one of the most documented cases of animal reincarnation in Cayce's 14306 archived readings. But the revelations about pets and souls go far deeper than most people realize. I'm about to reveal 3 mind-bending discoveries from Cayce's documented readings that answer the burning question every pet owner has asked. Do our beloved animals have souls? Do they survive death? And will we see them again? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the shocking difference between human souls and animal souls, documented cases of pets reincarnating with their families, and the spiritual reason why that bond you feel with your pet is more profound than you ever imagined. But first, let me ask you something personal. Have you ever looked into your pet's eyes and felt like there was an ancient, knowing soul looking back at you? According to Edgar Cayce's readings, that intuition might be more accurate than you think. Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, gave over 14,000 documented psychic readings while unconscious, and his insights about animals and souls offer hope to every pet owner who's wondered about their companion's spiritual nature. But his answer to whether pets have souls isn't what most people expect. Here's what Cayce revealed that changes everything about animal consciousness. Animals do have a spiritual nature, but it's fundamentally different from human souls. According to documented reading 909-1, the will is that factor which makes man different from the rest of the animal kingdom. While humans possess what Cayce called individual souls with free will, animals operate through what he termed the group mind, or group soul. But wait, this doesn't mean animals are less spiritual. In fact, Cayce's readings suggest they might be more naturally connected to divine consciousness than humans are. Think of it this way. While humans struggle with free will and often choose actions that go against divine love, animals always act in accordance with what Cayce called the creative forces. They live in pure innocence, guided by divine instinct, rather than conflicted by moral choices. As one researcher of Cayce's work explained, animals are always in accord with the creative forces, unless influenced by human free will. This explains why your pet's love feels so pure and unconditional. They're naturally expressing divine love without the mental barriers that humans create. But here's where Cayce's teachings get absolutely fascinating. Animals not only survive death, they also reincarnate. And the documented case of Mona proves that our pets can actually travel with us through multiple lifetimes. In 3 separate readings, 268-3, 281 and 405-1, Cayce confirmed that little dog Mona was the reincarnation of a lioness from Roman times. But here's the part that will blow your mind. The same family members who loved this little dog in 1933 had encountered her fierce lioness incarnation during the Christian persecution era in ancient Rome. According to the husband's reading, as a lioness, Mona had fought with the entity, and with those that destroyed many that the entity was then seeking to aid. This sounds exactly like the brutal persecution of Christians in Roman amphitheaters, yet somehow this same spiritual being chose to return as a beloved family pet, to continue relationships with the same souls she had encountered centuries earlier. But the most remarkable revelation came when Cayce was asked if Mona would always be a dog. His answer, "That depends upon the environment and the surroundings. No. This suggests that animals can evolve their form of expression based on their spiritual growth and the needs of their soul group. Here's what this means for you and your pet. If you feel an inexplicably deep connection with your animal companion, Casey's readings suggest you might be part of the same soul group, traveling together through lifetimes to help each other grow spiritually. In documented reading 276-6, a 16-year-old girl was told that her current pet had been with her in an Egyptian incarnation. This isn't coincidence, it's spiritual partnership spanning centuries. The implications are staggering. That rescue dog who chose you at the shelter might have been seeking you across lifetimes. That cat who showed up at your door might be fulfilling an ancient soul agreement. The intense grief you feel when a pet passes might be the recognition of losing a spiritual companion you've known for centuries. But wait until you hear what Casey revealed about the spiritual purpose of our relationships with animals. According to Casey's readings, pets serve as spiritual teachers, showing humans how to express unconditional love, live in the present moment, and maintain connection with divine consciousness. While humans struggle with ego, judgment, and fear, animals naturally embody the spiritual qualities we're trying to develop. Dr. Doug Knuven, a holistic veterinarian who has studied Casey's work extensively, explains that all living beings have in common the same life force or spirit, animals and humans. The readings suggest that according to Casey, individuals do not meet by chance. There is always an opportunity for soul development linked to every relationship we have, and this includes our relationships with animals. This means your pet isn't just a companion, they're a spiritual partner, helping you learn patience, compassion, responsibility, and unconditional love. Every interaction is an opportunity for soul growth. But here's something that will completely change how you see your pet's behavior. Because animals operate through the group mind and remain connected to divine consciousness, they often serve as intuitive messengers and healers for their human families. And this leads to one of the most mind-blowing aspects of Casey's animal teachings that modern science is only beginning to understand. Have you ever noticed how your dog seems to know exactly when you need comfort? How your cat appears out of nowhere during your darkest moments? How your pet's behavior changes before you even realize you're getting sick? Casey's readings suggest this isn't coincidence. It's spiritual service. Animals retain their connection to what he called the creative forces, while humans often lose this connection through overthinking and ego-driven choices. Your pet is literally operating from a higher spiritual frequency, which is why they can sense things that escape your conscious awareness. In modern terms, we're discovering that pets can detect changes in their owner's biochemistry, electromagnetic fields, and even predict medical events like seizures or heart attacks. But Casey's readings from nearly a century ago suggested that this ability comes from their maintained connection to universal consciousness. Here's what this means for the incredible bond you feel with your pet. You're not just imagining that spiritual connection. According to Casey's documented teachings, your animal companion is actively serving as a bridge between you and divine consciousness, helping you remember what unconditional love feels like. Casey's readings acknowledge that pets have individual personalities within their species group mind. Your dog's unique quirks, your cat's distinct personality. These aren't just genetic variations. According to Casey's teachings, each animal expresses individuality while remaining connected to their species' collective spiritual consciousness. This explains why some pets seem almost telepathically connected to their owner's emotions, why they often appear at exactly the right moment during emotional crises, and why they seem to know things they shouldn't logically know. Many pet owners report that their animals seem to know when they're sick, sad, or stressed. According to Casey's framework, this isn't just keen observation. It's spiritual sensitivity that comes from remaining connected to divine consciousness and the group mind. Now here's the question every pet owner desperately wants answered. Will I see my beloved pet again after death? Based on Casey's documented readings about animal reincarnation and soul groups, the answer appears to be a resounding yes, but perhaps not in the way you expect. Casey's readings suggest that the spiritual bonds we form with our pets transcend physical death. Just as human souls choose to incarnate together in different relationships across lifetimes, animals who are part of our soul group may choose to return to us in new forms. The researcher who studied Casey's animal readings, Jenny E. Taylor, beautifully describes this possibility. Just as I can imagine human souls hovering over parents, deciding upon their re-entry, looking for that opportunity to once again bring spirit into the earth, I now have an image of our animals doing the same thing. This means that beloved pet who passed away might return as a new puppy, kitten, or even a different species, carrying the same spiritual essence, but in a form appropriate for your current life circumstances and spiritual needs. But here's where this gets absolutely incredible. And I need you to really pay attention, because this next part could completely transform how you understand pet loss and the animals that come into your life afterward. Dr. Doug Neuven, who has spent decades applying Casey's principles in veterinary practice, shares documented cases of pets who seem to carry specific behavioral traits, preferences, or even physical markings that mirror beloved animals who had passed away. While science calls this coincidence, Casey's framework suggests something far more profound. Consider this. Have you ever met a new pet and immediately felt like you'd known them forever? Have you adopted an animal who seemed to already know your routines, your favorite spots in the house, or even responded to names they'd never heard before? According to Casey's teachings about soul groups and animal reincarnation, these could be signs of spiritual recognition. One of the most compelling aspects of animal reincarnation that Casey revealed is that the same spiritual essence can choose different forms based on what their human soul group needs for spiritual growth. That means your departed German Shepherd might return as a rescue cat if what you need to learn now is patience and gentleness rather than protection and loyalty. But the recognition signs go deeper than behavior. Many pet owners report inexplicable synchronicities around timing, finding a new pet on meaningful dates or having animals appear in their lives exactly when they're ready to love again. Casey's readings suggest these aren't accidents, but carefully orchestrated spiritual reunions. There's even more evidence in what Casey called soul recognition between pets and their humans. Some people describe looking into a new pet's eyes and feeling an overwhelming sense of welcome home, as if the animal is saying, "I found you again." According to Casey's framework, this instant recognition might be soul memory activating across lifetimes, but recognition might come through spiritual connection rather than physical similarity. You might meet a new animal and feel that inexplicable sense of coming home, the same feeling you had with your previous pet. Here's what's even more remarkable. When a young boy asked if they could get a life reading for Mona the dog, Casey said it could be done, but no one would understand it unless they learned dog language, clearly implying that animals have their own complex spiritual experiences and even forms of communication that humans don't fully comprehend. This suggests that our pets have rich inner lives, spiritual purposes, and soul experiences that we're only beginning to understand. So what does this mean for how you should treat your pet right now? According to Casey's teachings, acknowledging the spiritual nature of your animal companion enhances both their well-being and yours. Holistic veterinarians who apply Casey's principles report that recognizing the deeper levels of animal existence leads to a more complete healing attitude. This means treating your pet not just as a biological organism, but as a spiritual being deserving of respect, love, and recognition for their soul qualities. Talk to your pet with the awareness that you're communicating with a spiritual being. Many pet owners who embrace this perspective report deeper bonds and even improved behavior and health in their animals. Consider that your pet's challenges might be opportunities for both of you to grow spiritually. That anxious rescue dog might be teaching you patience and healing old trauma. That independent cat might be showing you how to respect boundaries while maintaining love. Meditation and prayer that includes your pet can strengthen your spiritual bond. Many pet owners find that including their animals in spiritual practices creates a sense of sacred connection and peace for both human and animal. But here's the most profound implication of Casey's teachings about pet souls. They suggest that love itself is the binding force that transcends physical death and connects souls across lifetimes. The intense love you feel for your pet isn't just emotional attachment, it's spiritual recognition. Your pet's unconditional love for you isn't just instinct, it's divine love, expressing itself through their innocent, pure consciousness. This love doesn't end when their physical body dies. According to Casey's readings, love is the eternal force that draws souls together across lifetimes, and the love between humans and animals is part of the same divine tapestry that connects all consciousness. When you lose a beloved pet, you're not losing them forever. You're experiencing a temporary separation while their soul continues its journey. The love you shared becomes part of your eternal spiritual record, and that bond may very well draw you together again in future lifetimes. But here's something that will give you immediate comfort if you're grieving a pet right now, or help you treasure the time you have with your current companion even more deeply. Casey's readings suggest that the period immediately after a pet's death is often when the strongest spiritual communication occurs. While their physical form has ended, their consciousness, free from the limitations of their animal body, can actually connect with you more directly. Many pet owners report vivid dreams where their deceased pets appear healthy, young, and radiating a sense of peace and completion. Others describe feeling their pet's presence during quiet moments, sensing them jumping onto the bed or catching glimpses of familiar movements in peripheral vision. According to Casey's understanding of consciousness, these experiences aren't grief-induced hallucinations. They're genuine spiritual communications from beings who want to reassure you that their love continues and that your bond transcends physical death. But there's an even more profound layer to this. Casey taught that animals, because they remain pure and connected to divine consciousness, often become spiritual guides for their human families after death. They may help orchestrate the arrival of new pets when you're ready, or provide intuitive guidance during difficult decisions. Have you ever felt like your deceased pet was somehow guiding you to rescue a particular animal? Or sensed their approval when you brought a new companion home? Casey's framework suggests these intuitions might be accurate spiritual communications. Some pet owners even report that new animals in their lives seem to know things about the deceased pet, favorite toys, special spots, or behavioral cues that they couldn't have learned naturally. According to Casey's teachings about the group mind, this could be the previous pet's consciousness, sharing information through the collective animal awareness to help ease the transition. The most beautiful aspect of this spiritual continuity is that it means every pet who comes into your life, whether through careful selection or unexpected rescue, is part of your soul's journey. They're not random companions, but spiritual partners who have chosen to help you learn specific lessons about love, responsibility, healing, or joy. Some people report dreams or spiritual visitations from deceased pets. According to Casey's framework, these aren't just wishful thinking. They could be genuine spiritual communication from beings who remain connected to you beyond physical death. The practical takeaway is profound. Treat every moment with your pet as sacred. Recognize that you're not just caring for an animal. You're nurturing a spiritual relationship that may span lifetimes. Express gratitude for their presence in your life. Many spiritual traditions teach that gratitude strengthens spiritual bonds and creates positive karma that can enhance future connections. Trust your intuitive connection with your pet. If you sense they're trying to communicate something important, pay attention. Casey's readings suggest that animals retain stronger intuitive abilities than most humans, and your pet might be trying to share spiritual insights. Most importantly, let your pet's natural expression of unconditional love teach you how to love more purely yourself. According to Casey, this is one of the primary spiritual gifts that animals offer humans. They model divine love in action. Edgar Casey's documented readings reveal that the question, "Do pets have souls?" has a beautifully complex answer. While animals don't have individual souls with free will like humans, they possess a spiritual nature that's in many ways more pure and connected to divine consciousness than our own. They reincarnate, they travel with soul groups across lifetimes, and they serve as spiritual teachers and companions to help humans learn unconditional love and divine connection. The love you feel for your pet isn't just emotional. It's spiritual recognition of a being who shares the same divine life force that animates all creation. That bond transcends physical death and may very well reunite you across lifetimes in various forms. So the next time you look into your pet's eyes and feel that sense of ancient recognition, trust that intuition. You may be looking at a spiritual companion who has chosen to journey with you through multiple lifetimes, teaching you about love, loyalty, and connection to the divine. Your pet's soul might not be structured like yours, but it's no less sacred, no less eternal, and no less deserving of recognition as a spiritual being on its own journey of growth and service. If this exploration of Edgar Cayce's documented teachings about pets and souls has touched your heart or answered questions you've always wondered about, make sure you're subscribed for more insights into the spiritual connections that bind us all together. Hit that like button if you felt that soul-deep connection with a beloved pet. Share this with someone who needs to hear that love transcends death, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever felt like you've known your pet in a previous lifetime? Your spiritual bond might be deeper and more eternal than you ever imagined. The greatest revelation from Edgar Cayce's readings isn't just that pets have souls. It's that love itself is the immortal force that connects all conscious beings across time, space, and lifetimes, ensuring that no bond of genuine love is ever truly broken.